Let
And
me
you jump
switch you over to the review
oh, to
screen for you.
the me
All
dying
right,
gameplay.
here we go.
Yeshua's review of an
Oh,
unreleased
here, let
game
me play
called
the
Blue Fire. Beep boop boop. So many of you may or may not have heard of this game. Honestly, I had maybe heard of this game. I'm thinking I recollect like a small trailer of it from back in the day, but now it's coming out. So it's coming out on the 4th, and we were lucky enough, shout out to Chamali, and then also shout out to whichever developer gave us this, but Chamali was able to actually get a developer code for the demo for this game. Granted that we pretty much do what I'm doing right now, right? Review the game and stream it, which I did. And I did that last night, and it's okay. Yeah. Anyway, I don't want to, I get ahead of myself in the reviews very easily. Anyway, for those of you that don't know, this is so Blue Fire, the game. This is it's really hard for me to describe what type of genre this is, but I'm going to go ahead and say platformer. The platforming is akin to A Hat in Time meets Dark Souls. So like it feels like you have like Dark Souls platforming level skill needed, yeah, with A Hat in Time mechanics. And so like it is pretty much what I've always wanted. It's basically like an M-rated sequel. It's not even M-rated, but like, you know what I mean, a dark sequel to like A Hat in Time for me. It's not quite as fluid, we'll get into that in a sec, as A Hat in Time is, but I also only played the first 2 levels,
Sure.
and mechanics are like unlocking galore. It feels a little Zelda-y too, in how like there's dungeons, beautiful music that like slowly creeps through the level, and there's Z targeting, and you're a swordy guy, and so there's like lock on, you can like dash to people. There's Z targeting, and it feels like Wind Waker in combat. So just to kind of like give everyone a heads up of what this is. But yes, Blue Fire, developed by Roby Studios. Thank you again, devs, for this thing, and I'll totally take a free version of the game and stream the whole thing live. What? But anyway,
We said we weren't going to do that.
I had to. I had to. This game comes
Okay,
out on
Jesus.
February 4th, 2021. It's coming out first on the Switch and the PC, and then later on some bullshit consoles we never heard of. I'm just kidding, on the Xbox and the PS4. I am probably going to get this on the PC, although it seems like the perfect game for the Switch. This seems like a
It
really
does seem like an
amazing
awesome
game.
Switch game.
Like, I can't believe this wasn't an exclusive for the Switch, but I'm also very grateful that everyone's gonna be able to play this. I played it on PC with the demo. So, what did I like about the game? Honestly, it's easier to say what I didn't like about the game. This is a lot. Yeah. So the game just feels very stark. Like you walk into it and you get that Dark Souls vibe. You're like, okay, this feels intimidating. Like I walk in, an enemy like kills you in like 1 or 2 hits, and you're like, what the fuck? I thought this was going to be like Kitty, like Zelda, based on the aesthetic, but no, it's dark. And then you look around, there's like oozing like corruption and like dark temple settings, just like Dark Souls. So you're just like, this is very deep. I kind of get what they're trying to do. It's not just run into combat and kill people. It is meticulous, and the platforming benefits, or the combat greatly benefits from the platforming style and the controls, because you're able to like dash out of the way, do some crazy jumps, like all these kind of mechanics that again I haven't unlocked all of. So for the time being, it just feels like it all is running very smoothly together, which is really really nice. Music is here. I keep forgetting to do this correctly. Sorry. What did I like about the game? So much. What is the gameplay? How was the gameplay? Was it fun? It's amazing. If you're a platforming fan at all, if you like the Hat in Time, Banjo Kazooie, Super Mario 64, any of the 3D Super Mario's, really, it is pretty much a must for you. I feel like this really pushes the boundary where Super Mario Sunshine, we saw kind of an inkling of these very intense platforming puzzles that were kind of just like, okay, this is pretty hard, but like it's still Mario. This kind of takes it up a notch even further, and it gives you these mind-bending kind of tower puzzles. And I, again, only played the first 2 chapters, and I'm already kind of grasping that it's like demanding a lot from the player in these platforming exercises. It's not like press jump to do that. Like it teaches you how to do the mechanics, but it's not like guiding you through each puzzle or each platforming puzzle. Like it really expects a lot from the player, and that's going to be added into something I do like about it as well, is that like it is not holding your hand. Sure, it tells you what to do, but I think it's fair to tell you what to do as you unlock mechanics, because it's like,
yeah,
this game is very hard. Yeah, some games, like I thought, like, would it be better if there was no tutorial? I think it's better that there's a mild tutorial, and it literally happens like while you're walking. There's literally like scars on the floor, just like in Dark Souls. And there's so many things akin to Zelda. I can't even explain. It like really feels like Wind Waker in a lot of ways. The art is gorgeous. At first glance, I was like, Wind Waker meets Hollow Knight. Like it really feels like Hollow Knight in a lot of ways, as far as the aesthetic and even the music. I know, dude.
That's
Literally,
so cool.
I was like, this is like Hollow Knight. And it's just really deep. You even feel like Link meets like Hollow Knight guy type character. Like you feel like
Yeah,
your
it
guy is
kind of
tough.
looks like it aesthetically. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. You're like a swordsman, unknown origin. Like, I get to the end of the demo and like a character talks to you and he's like, you are like, your soul is of like, I can't remember the exact word. He's like, your soul is like a perfect balance of light and dark. You're the only one that can save us type thing. And I'm like, interesting. So you're like a kind of one of those Link type characters where like you're the only one suitable, both because you're like kind of fucked up and kind of awesome. So it's like the perfect hero, the anti-hero, right?
Yeah.
And this, I could see this easily being one of those games where like you beat it and it's like you're the bad guy or like something like that, just because it's like I don't even know what's happening. It takes place in, I think, a post-apocalyptic world. There's one scene where you walk out and see like this amazing Twilight Princess-esque sunset, and this guy's there, and he's like, "Can you believe that they used to think humans lived out there or something like that?" And it's like people are extinct, basically, is kind of what I got from that. Or like the
wow.
theory that other humans or beings exist is kind of like God. So like dystopian type thing. It's just very stark, very beautiful, and like I already am getting like chills like thinking about the potential for the lore in this. Yeah, so art is beautiful, great depth of feel as well. The platforming exercises really feel fucking terrifying. You're not just like, oh, you know, I fall off, whatever. It like feels like very imposing. Like these massive tower structures and like fast moving blocks and all that shit, like feels imposing. Like right in the first like mini game level, which is like kind of akin to like the dream levels from A Hat in Time, or like the ones where Mario gets Flood taken from him in Sunshine and you're just left to like bare bones platforming. It feels very much like that, puts you like in a dream realm for like a little bit. Love that. Music is gorgeous. You kind of don't notice it at certain points because you're kind of like intent on like searching and all that. But then when you do notice, you're like, wow, it just really crept up. It felt like it was there all along. Like it feels very beautiful and stark. And it's like the kind of songs that go for like 20 minutes and you're just like, this is great. I'm not getting bored of that.
So that's important though. Like for sound design, you don't, at this point in time, you don't want a game song really to get stuck in your head.
Yeah, not anymore. Yeah. I'm fine with humming along to Banjo-Kazooie now, but like if a game like that came along where like 1.5 minute tracks or less are repeating in a very loud, rambunctious way, it kind of is a turnoff. Like we're just like, okay, that's a lot of music, but like that solemn, like kind of creep in, like very Dark Soulsy, where it's like
especially
you
in a game like this, you want that like good ambiance, you know?
Oh, you want the ambiance? Yeah, exactly. It really sets the mood because again,
you want Beyonce.
What? And so that's not
Beyonce's game music. It seems terrible.
Oh my god, Shakira in the background. Oh my god, what am I saying right now? No, but this game could easily be like when I first started, easily be misconstrued as a kiddie type game, and the music and the aesthetic kind of ties it all in and gives you that feel as you explore. Like right when I started it, I didn't know how serious this game was going to be. And then when I kept going along, got my ass kicked a few times, the music gets more intense and it like really shows you this imposing like thing this quest you got to do. So it feels like it really ties it together is what I'm trying to say and gives it that feel. Also something about the gameplay real quick, the bad guy incremental, like strengthening, getting more difficult, I guess, ranking. I don't even fucking know. Great. Yeah, the power creep of the bad guys is fucking good. Like really, really amazing. Like the level 1 bad guys kick your ass to the point where you're like blinking Breath of the Wild and you're like, I don't even want to touch them. Then you get a new weapon and you learn how to fight them. And you're like, now I actually know how to fight each bad guy. And they each have a different mode or like way of attacking you. And you like almost like love it at that point. I started like really loving once I learned how to like beat up these certain bad guys. And like you can do like a vertical chop to like bounce off them and shit and like do like all kinds of dodges and jumps. And it's really cool. Like, so bad guys are great. There is a boss battle at the end of the demo. If anyone gets their head on the demo, please play it all the way through because the boss fucking tied it in for me as well. Incredible. I'm so glad big bosses are a thing because like the little bosses felt like bosses. Like every bad guy felt like a boss in this. And then to give us a giant bad guy at the end was very much what I needed. Like true like Zelda temple status. Let's see. Yeah, sound
also
design
still kind of Dark Soulsy too. I watched the end of it. Like the health bar at the bottom is very Dark Souls,
and you feel like, oh my god, this guy has that much health. Like I am dead. There's no way I'm killing this guy. And then you figure out the way, and you're like, okay, this isn't so bad, but it's still like you got to be on point. The game again expects you to learn the mechanics. It doesn't care if you die 1,000 times as long as you learn. So like it's very Cupheady in a way where you're like, it's not going to beat it for you. You literally have to learn the play style or else you will not succeed in this game, which is, in my opinion, a huge strength. I think more games need that. Like not too many games hold your hand and like Breath of the Wild where they give you like amazing weapons and like right out of the gate, other games too, though. Like right out of the gate, you're already strong enough to pretty much take on whatever. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's exactly why I have my learning and growing animation that I use on my stream all the time. Those are the kinds of games that I want to be playing. Ones that force you to learn and become better.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It really makes you feel like a great gamer when you like do it. And like I beat the demo and I was like, damn, that was intense. There was one mini game, I don't know if anyone was watching, but it took me like 30 tries, or this one like mini level, just like timing and the jumping and all that stuff.
The platforming
and, like,
at the beginning.
Platforming. Yeah, exactly. And I was like, I can't do this, whatever. And then like when I finally beat it, I was like, wow, that was intense. True satisfaction from beating it. And like you really feel like you learned from that. And then like by the end of it, you're like dashing around, dodging, doing perfect attacks and everything. You're like, I didn't even know this an hour ago, but now I'm like really good at it, or to an extent. Let's see. So sound design, just to add on to the music, the sound also is aesthetically gorgeous. It really ties everything in. The weapons and all the enemy sounds are not annoying. They again fit perfectly into the setting. Real quick, if any of the devs are listening, I found a typo in the text. And so there was like an S missing at the end of no. It was supposed to be knows, but it was no. Like he knows something. So not to insult, but there is a typo in the game.
I think there's a feedback, a demo feedback section in the Discord. I would highly recommend joining the Discord.
I'm going to join that Discord, and I recommend everyone else do too. And then see, we have a cross out of how long it took. I will say the demo was over 2 hours long, although I was streaming, kind of fucking around. The demo alone,
stream, I think, was about
like 210.
220 was the full stream.
And 10 of that is like me dicking around at the beginning. So it's around 2 hours, probably 1 to 2 hours if you like figure it out what to do pretty fast. And I died a lot. Slowly.
That's another thing that I noticed in the Discord. I feel like this game was designed with speedrunning in mind.
Yes.
Because they do have like a designated speedrunning channel for the demo. So I believe that the intention is for you. I mean, obviously you can play the game how you want, but I think that part of the design philosophy for the game was to include speedrunning, you know, and have speedrunners in mind for it, which I think is really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, the dash mechanic, there's no stamina in this game except when you're wall running, and it's pretty generous, I would say, and I'm assuming everything is upgradable because there's a massive inventory, so you probably can eventually just run on the wall forever. But regardless, you can just like dash, and like if you learn the level and you learn how to avoid bad guys, and there's no like real gain from killing bad guys except you refill like your basically it's like the elixir from Dark Souls where you like get a maximum amount of them and like you refill that potential. And I don't really know. I don't know. I got some weird like firefly things and I wasn't able to spend them. So maybe I'm saying too much, but there's like almost no gain to killing bad guys, it seems. Maybe minor, but so speed running is like, I think you could do it without like hindering yourself too much. And it seems again, like, learn the levels, just crush it. It seems like if I beat this and it's amazing, I'm probably going to want to speed run it because I'm already kind of into it. Yeah. Was the game difficult? Fuck yes, it was difficult. This game is not a Hat in Time. It is not Sunshine, and Sunshine is a difficult game. I will say, considering I only played level 1 and level 2, this game has a massive learning curve. It really, again, demands a lot from the player, and it doesn't hold your hand. And not only that, but the mechanics are kind of difficult. Like, for instance, your dash, you can't pull your dash in. Like in a Hat in Time, you can lunge forward, and then kind of cut it off and like stop your jump in the middle, and you have much more like accuracy. Here, although it'd be nice to be more accurate and be able to jump wherever you want, that's not the point of the game. And I understand that. The game wants you to use the mechanics it has to do difficult puzzles. And it's not like, of course we could make it easier, but like, why would we do that? So I also respect that some of it feels kind of strange at first, but then when you learn how to like do untethered platforming, you get more accurate at it. And it like, again, you can just become a pro at it. So it's not an easy game. I would say this is like a Souls-like. And honestly, I like can't believe they didn't even make it.
With insane platforming.
Yeah, with insane platforming. Props to Roby Studios for literally, we talked about this a few weeks ago and I said I wanted a Dark Souls platformer. Remember, I did
actually.
I did say that. I think I said 2D platformer, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't get too much closer, right?
Can't get too much closer. Instead of saying, will I play a sequel? I'll say, will I play the full game? Of course. I absolutely recommend playing this game if you're a platformer fan at all. If you even liked Banjo-Kazooie slightly, you're going to love this. I'm not saying it's better than Banjo-Kazooie.
It seems so different from Banjo-Kazooie. Like,
I know,
weird to make that comparison.
Well, because it's like a tried and true platformer,
Sure,
and it's
sure,
like
yeah.
that's kind of where I'm getting at. It really the closest comparison, absolutely, is a Hat in Time because like this amazing untethered platforming, these incredible air acrobatics,
Mhm.
and like pinpoint landing and perfect whatevering, and like speed running and all that stuff. But it feels like this is just to the nth degree.
Mhm.
Overall rating and impression. Overall impression is this game is fucking phenomenal. Please play it. It's so awesome. Props to Roby Studios, and thanks again for letting me play it. Overall rating, again, I don't know if I can fully grasp it. It was a little learning curvy at the beginning, but I'm not holding that at all against the game.
Yeah, hard to
I'm
give it
gonna-
like a number rating
Yeah.
when you haven't played the full.
It is
Yeah.
hard, but I'm gonna. So
Okay, here we go.
Also hard.
I would say this is a 9.2, honestly. So the reason it's not higher is probably because I haven't seen all of it, but the story seems really good. The lore is dark and it doesn't give too much to where you're like, oh, the story's not good enough, blah, blah, blah. It's like just giving you a little like Hollow Knight where you're like, I like what it's giving me because it's not shoving it down my throat.
Right.
Aesthetics are good, music is good, gameplay is good. It's hard enough. It's very hard, and I respect that out of games these days. It's an amazing game, and maybe it'll be a 10 when I beat it. But for right now, that's strong.
Yeah,
will you
It's a
buy the
very
game?
strong start.
Very strong. And yes, I would buy the game based on the demo. I don't know what the price tag is going to be, but honestly, I would be a little upset if it was over $40. I can see this being a $40 or $30 game because I don't know how big it is. It feels pretty big.
Mhm.
I could also see this being a $20 game. I could also sadly see this being a $60 game because it is coming to Xbox and PS4. And I would be really sad if it was a $60 game, but I think I would still buy it.
Yeah.
And then, yes, go watch my previous streams of the Blue Fire demo if you want a preview. Thanks, Jamali. If you want to watch a preview. But yeah,
I'm gonna
so,
try and get that posted to our YouTube too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how easy it is to even get this demo, though. That's the thing. Like, am I like the first person to ever stream it?
No, I don't think so.
It had a category, so I don't
You
think so.
you can
Oh, it had a category,
if
you're
you
right.
go if you're interested in trying it out,
Yes.
go to the Discord and you can request the preview through their Discord.
Oh, very cool.
They'll direct you on how to get that. Also, like you mentioned lore, they do have a lore channel in that Discord as well. So I'm
that's
thinking they want to put a heavy emphasis on lore as well in this game, which
Good.
sounds really rad, to
Yeah.
be honest.
Not only were there like some very mysterious characters that gave you like there's one character that gives you like a nice like literally reminded me of when the Deku tree is telling you the story of the goddesses
Mhm.
because
Yep.
it's like the story about the gods that created the plane and whatnot.
Right.
And one of them is literally like Daneru, and I'm like, that's like literally Din and Nehru mixed together or some shit. But anyway, so like it gives you a little bit without like spoiling anything, and then also it has characters that are very mysterious, and like you just see things. You're like, where am I? What is this place? Like you see that sunset that's bleak, and the guy's like, no more humans or whatever, and you're just like, fuck, like I'm getting good enough at a time. I could see the lore being massive. I could see this being a cult classic. Absolutely.
Yeah.
This game has blown me away. Yeah, absolutely. The trailer hooked me. Watch the trailer if you're unsure. Watch me die 1,000 times if you're unsure. But if you really want, playing it was a lot better than watching it. I knew I was going to like it based on the trailer, but I absolutely loved it, and it blew my expectations away as far as gameplay is concerned. Gameplay being the strongest point of this game. Like, and it's hard to say that a lot of games these days have strong gameplay throughout. And this game really is solid. It is not ever lagging or boring. Backtracking is only your error. Like if you fucked up and forgot, that's you backtracking because of you. But like, there's no really need to go back. I will say it's frustrating, but it's not misunderstandable that they send you back to the beginning of the level when you die. Like there's no checkpoints. Like you find the bonfires just like in Dark Souls. That's usually like midway or to the end of a level. If you die 10 minutes in, you go all the way back though. And so it's kind of like really training you to be careful and like learn each step of the way.
Yeah, learn that.
It's Mega Man Zero.
Yeah, Mega Man Zero, Cuphead, like all that stuff, like Geometry Dash or whatever. Like that's a weird
Geometry Dash.
one.
So it's interesting to note. Like we got confirmation that we had a demo. What, 2 nights ago? Maybe?
Yeah, Friday night.
Friday night, I think. And Paul and Chamali and I were trying to figure out who was going to, play it. And Paul and I were both like, no, it has to be Josh.
Yeah.
This is the most Josh game ever.
Yes.
And we're really happy that you were able to go live last night and record some.
Thank you. When I got the text, I was like, I don't know. And then I watched the trailer immediately when I got home and I was like, I need to stream this now. It like really inspired me to go stream it.
Yeah.
And I was like, and the devs are giving us the code. So it's like quite an honor to stream their game.
Yeah.
And yeah, I am super glad I did. It really ignited something in me. I really want to play more right now. I'm kind of sad that I can't play more, honestly.
Yeah.
Play it
Yeah.
again.
Well, when was the
again, I
release
could,
date
yeah.
again? February 4th.
February 4th is
Oh
the
my
release
god,
date.
that's
coming.
the
We'll be
day
getting
before
it.
the Neo 2 PC release.
Yeah, it's like
Oh,
that
God.
first couple of weeks of February is going to be nuts for the three of us.
Yeah. Also on the
Neo
12th.
2, Scott Pilgrim
Yeah.
stream, Josh has got Blue
Oh, that's
Fire.
on the
Like,
Blue Fire, but also on the 12th, Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury launches.
Yes.
And
Yep.
that is
Oh my
absolutely, I'm
God.
absolutely playing that on launch day, most likely live. So there's a
Yeah.
lot of
February
games
is
coming
gonna
out for
be
us.
nuts.
February's gonna be crazy. Yeah.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
Any
Can't
final
wait.
thoughts on the game before I turn off the gameplay here?
I would say give it a chance, because if you're not inherently into platforming, I think you still would be into this game. Like if
Mhm.
someone's like, oh, platforming isn't my main jam, be like, well, it's kind of a puzzle game that just uses you jumping in the air. It's kind of
Mhm.
hard to explain, like that's platforming, but like with an amazing amount of combat lore, like all this, it kind of hits on a lot of notes, and there's like upgrading. It seems like RPG-esque, where you're like upgrading your weapons, and there's a huge inventory that didn't even scratch.
Yeah.
So
To me, it almost
overall,
seems like a classic 3D Zelda with insane
Yeah.
platforming.
yes, it literally like feels like the combat and the exploration of Zelda, like Wind Waker specifically comes to mind, especially because of the graphics, with like the getting lostness of Hollow Knight, and then the platforming of like A Hat in Time taken to the nth degree, then, and like Dark Souls paint on top of it. So I love that it evokes so many other games in me. Also, like these
Mhm.
developers clearly are retro platforming fans, clearly are like Dark Souls fans, and like intense they understand what it means to learn and beat a game and be proud of yourself for putting in the work for the game, instead of just being like, okay, am I through this part yet? Did I beat it yet? You know, I'm still using a tree branch and I don't have the Hawaiian shield. I'm kidding. But you know what I'm saying? Like it really inspires a lot. And I think this is a great direction for games, and games like this do not come out very often.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And
very exciting.
again, big, huge thank you to Roby Studios for giving us
Yes,
this.
thank you,
Like,
Roby
this is a
Studios.
huge opportunity.